All right. Good evening, guys. Good evening. We'll do another episode of the Optimistic Nick Fan. This is number 12. And here we go, up 2-0. So the theme is, is that weird Boston energy. And again, look, I get Boston in the 17 and the 18 championships that you've won over your history. I get the idea of having a little arrogance, right? I get it. I get it. I mean, when you look at history, and I wish I had the ability to post clips and stuff like that. That's coming, man. That's coming. I'm gonna figure that out and figure out how to get certain things on my videos. But I was just listening to something, a podcast or a telecast with Brian Scalabrine, Eddie House, and some uh, whoever the host is for this show. That I guess they run up in Boston, and this was after the February 8th game, where Boston obviously beat us and probably beat us handily. And they really tried to go for the juggler. And again, it's always low hanging fruit to talk Nick history. It really is. It really is. It's low hanging fruit. Because, again, you're going to say that over the last 50 years of losing them. Now, the Knicks went to two finals in that last 50 years. They were a couple of plays away from getting to others. They were a couple of plays of one play away from not winning the finals in 94. 99, the whole team went down. And again, the last 20 years, last 25 years have not been all peaches and cream. We had our moments. Again, the last time the Knicks played the Celtics in the playoffs, 2013. That was a year, 2 years after we played them in 2011 and got swept in the first round. That's when Melo first got traded. Everybody got hurt. So, look, the history being the history, the Celtics. I love this. I love it for Boston fans to understand it. Red Auerbach, the guy who built pretty much the first 15 to 16 championships that Boston won, is a guy is from Brooklyn. I mean, I just want you guys, and then the 11 championships that Bill Russell won. You guys did not appreciate that team, the races. I mean, look, just to even get into the history of it. So look, you come up, you had the Larry Bird again. Red Auerbach built the Larry Bird era. Red Auerbach drafted Larry Bird as a college junior. Nobody thought to do that. Nobody thought to make a draft pick on a guy that was going back to school. It was against the rule. I mean, it wasn't against the rules back then. And again, you wound up, getting one of the greatest of all time. Uh, you know, to add to the Celtic lore by doing so. All right, so this is Red Auerbach, a Brooklyn guy. I want people to understand that because again, the Knicks, right? The Knicks, far be it to say loser them. I mean, this is a sport that has a salary cap. Um, again, the business of basketball we could get into later, but this is a sport that had a salary cap. If you took the salary cap on, the Knicks would be the Knicks, and the Yankee. I mean, the Celtics would be the Red Sox. If you took the salary cap out, the Knicks would be the Yankees. The Celtics would be the Red Sox. And I get the Red Sox finally got back on top of the rivalry a little bit, even though the Yankees, always in the playoffs. That being what it is. But again, the weird energy, the arrogance. It just tells me that you Boston fans are fraudulent as hell. I mean, the Boston fans, the Boston. I mean, look at Jason Tatum's face. This team that y'all felt the need, and I said this. It seemed like Boston wanted to prove that the Knicks were not on their level so bad, and they thought they could do it in a regular season matchups, and these fly-in regular season matchups on Sunday afternoons, and I think every single game except for the last one was a primetime game, and it sucked in primetime. They sucked in national televised games. Look, I got my theories on why that is. I mean, some of the weird calls even tonight. I mean, we ate them. We ate them. I mean, I saw the first call. I saw the first game when White took a three. Josh Hart contested it perfectly. No call was made until the ball clanked off the side of the rim, and they bailed out. They bailed out White again. White didn't play. Put much more contact on Jalen Brunson tonight. No call. He gets, because Jalen Brunson fell trying to sell a call. White gets down. No contact on Hart again. He goes to the line. I mean, that's a 5-point swing right there. We should have been taking three free throws. They wound up taking 2 free throws of a play. They did not deserve to take 2 free throws. Again, I'm not going to whine about the refs because, again, this came down to the players tonight. The players made the moves. And for those, again, I'm going to say this, look, I mean, for the most part, if anybody's watching this that happens to be a Celtic fan, and shout out to those few Celtics fans that didn't get this arrogant and did give the Knicks the props. Look, I get it. We got to win something and beat you before you give us props. How you like us now? We're up 2-0 in your building. Not only that, you blew two 20-point leads in a row. And I don't want to hear about if we'd have made more threes. You didn't. You did not. If we'd have made more threes. We were great from 3 in game 1, and we were worse tonight. On a series, we are 26 of 69. We're better than you because you've made 25 threes while taking 31 more. You made one less three, taking 31 more threes. And again, look, Celtics did change that up a little bit. They went more into the paint. Again, the first half they took 50 shots, I believe, 29 with twos, 21 with threes. On the season, they take more threes than twos by a significant margin at that. So, I mean, here we are. We go back to the Garden for Saturday. Again, job's not done. As the late great Kobe Bryant would say, what's to celebrate about? Job's not done. Then we went 4, and that's the thing. And I think now you guys understand, and all you Celtics fans, and Mr. Brian Scalabrine and Mr. Eddie House, you understand. This is the playoffs. I shouldn't have had to tell you guys. You guys had enough playoff experience yourself. I get it. Maybe that's what Boston wanted. They didn't want analysis. They didn't want the, you know what, man, this, be careful what we wish for with this team. There are some things I see that while we got this regular season matchup, it might not play that way in the playoffs. Again, Knicks have to win. Knicks have to win this. And of course, if we win this, it's going to be either Indiana's going to do this, or Cleveland's going to do this. Look. End of the day, the absolute arrogance and low hanging fruit to go with what the loserdom of the Knicks. I mean, come on, guys. What are we talking here? No, seriously, what are we talking here? And again, Boston, you won a championship. You have the history. Again, your history is built by a Brooklyn guy, which this is the theme that the New York basketball scene, and this is really a lot due to the CCNY college basketball scandal. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of basketball left New York. New York did not really become a basketball city until the 60s. Because of the college, again, people don't realize the college scene was bigger than the NBA at that point. And, the CCNY betting scandal, which few schools were involved in. It wasn't just CCNY. You got to think of this. City College now has a Division III school. And again, that culture, guys would have been coming to New York to play. That changed. You still had the territory draft. Again, that's for people that understand basketball and NBA history. I mean, it's just So again, obviously I'm celebrating. I'm happy tonight. But again, that's Boston energy that I feel, and obviously, I should just give it back. But I'm better than that. I understand that Boston is a serious team. You didn't understand that we were, and that's a fatal flaw. And it goes down to the coaches, it goes down to the players, it goes down to the fan base, the local media in Boston. Y'all were not prepared for what y'all about to see. And look, bro, I said it all year long. I don't want this to be about Boston, but I said this all year long. Boston, that they don't play. That's not real basketball. What they're doing. That spreading got five guys. They start every play with five guys outside of the three, and then you watch what you develop there. I mean, it sure probably seems fun, especially as you took deployed it on inferior teams. You're now seeing and okay, and that's the other thing. Mitchell Robinson. Those of us, who knows basketball, you know who doesn't. Yeah, the Hacker Mitch. First of all, Hacker Mitch was used Tyler Penn and Joe Mazzulla. How do you keep fouling? You knew, and you even and Tibbs even showed it. He kind of tipped his hand. I don't know who made the save, but he was going to bring it back in OG one minute too early. I mean, one foul too early. Oh, you got one team foul. Actually, Jason Tatum picked it up the second one off the rebound, which was a smart play because you stopped the three. You stopped the wide open three that we missed, by the way. But you stopped the wide open three, and then two more fouls. So then we take Mitch out. He doesn't have to shoot free throws. Yeah, at the 3 minute or at the 3:55 mark, and then you know now everything was in a bonus. So your next, obviously, the next foul, you don't to take away your foul to give to employ a stupid strategy of giving us possibly 3 points. And then Mitch was technically he only was 5 on the series on the season. I mean, really, you could tell with his technique, he doesn't have confidence. He's not bending his knees. Hopefully he works with a shooter in the off season to correct that. And I get it. Probably it's hard to bend, being that he has that repaired ankle. It's probably making him think twice about certain movements. The ankle. I mean, the ankle in the was repaired. So at the end of the day, man, look, it's a series. Again, I call Knicks a six. So for that to happen, that means we drop one of the other ones in MSG. Maybe we drop one of the ones in OKC. I mean, in MSG. And then they come back to Boston. We lose that one, and we end up on home floor. I mean, the sweep is still in play because that's the thing. Whether again you get up 20 and you keep taking threes. They took way too many, but they were trying to stay true to their nature. It's just. I mean, for all the prognosticators that kept saying if the Knicks this, I mean, you said we're going to be made easy work, and again, I know you get the idea that they had those 20 point leads. That means they're a better team. Well, maybe they're a better team, but they don't have better talent. They don't. They just don't. I mean, the idea, and again, they're a terrific team, Boston, but they don't have superior talent to the Knicks. And Knicks proven we could take their punch. Again, they could come out games. They can come out and be on fire. If they're on fire in one of these games, look, Casey's Row has said this all year long. That's not going. That's chucking up threes. And again, sometimes they just flat out shuck it up, or they flat out. Again, you work the ball around the perimeter. You don't mix it in. Look, bro, the Knicks, sky's the limit now. I look at everybody coming back. I mean, still in the playoffs. there's no. I mean, OKC might be the biggest nightmare matchup just because of their depth, but there are no nightmare matchups in the rest of this playoffs. None whatsoever. There's not one team that the Knicks can't beat in these playoffs. Not one. Especially the way we're playing now. Again, it's grit, it's defense, it's timely scoring. We're not just shooting threes to shoot threes. Tonight we were 9 of 32. We're 9 of 32 for three. I think maybe we hit a 10th one. I'm not sure, but from what I remember, we're 9 for 32. Again, we go to the mid range when stuff ain't working. We go to the basket. Even we're trying to get draw some fouls, so whatever. I'm sticking with Knicks at 6. Obviously, we could do it at 5. We could do it in a sweep. If that happened, it'd be kind of historic. I mean, look, it has happened with a home team in the second round. The team with home court advantage got swept. It happens. Sweeps happen that way. But look, and I expect a couple of response games from Boston. Hopefully we take one, at least one in MSG, but hopefully we sweep them. So tomorrow I'm gonna get in. Look, I was trying to do the video earlier, talking about the playoffs and what I've noticed and everything like that. But but good night and on to game 3. Peace.